Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We're back here on Effective Living. We're going to have a good time tonight. Doom, doom, doom. Let's celebrate. Oh, we're celebrating because Effective Living, the book, is celebrating 1 year, okay, this week, 1 year impacting the world, making a difference, and just hearing great reviews. I mean, great reviews. And so I'm excited about it. And so this week I said I wanted to do something. I wanted to go live. I wanted to connect with you guys that are a part of the community. And I said, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to let me know. Did you get the book over the past 12 months? I want to know. I want to know, did you get the book? Now, here's the deal. I invited one of my good friends. I mean, listen, she's an endorser of the book. She got the book. And listen, she was reading the book. She's been applying the book. Miss Jocelyn Charles, how are you doing, lady?
Good evening. I'm well. How are you, Coach Ricardo?
Man, I am doing wonderful. Can you believe it? It has been 1 year already.
Time flies.
Time the sure flies. Now, here's the deal. This book came out in the midst of a pandemic. Okay? And I know some people, you might want to postpone bringing out a book called Effective Living in a Pandemic. But I thought, what a great time to bring out a book when it's starting to reveal what a lot of people had not been paying attention to. And now we're starting to realize we're not supposed to just live. We're supposed to thrive. We're supposed to be engaged. We're supposed to connect with what we're supposed to be about on a daily basis, which makes for effective living. Please tell our viewing audience a little bit about Jocelyn Charles before we dive into our conversation about the celebration of my 1 year anniversary, new book, 1 year book release conversation celebration.
Well, first, let me say congratulations on your 1 year anniversary for the Effective Living book. Everyone, I am Jocelyn Charles. I'm a mother of 2 teenagers. I'm right here in Dallas, Texas for the past 23 years. This is home for me. I love it here. I am also a Mary Kay beauty consultant. I help women and men feel their best about their skincare and their regimen and just feeling good from the inside out. I also am a student ministries leader at Pathway of Life Church. I love my church home. I love my pastors and my church family. And I also am diving off into a wellness living with a wellness shopping club and opportunities to share with different families who want to make wellness part of their family structure, from the home, all the products they use in their home, and ingest in their bodies as well. So I'm all about health and beauty at this point going forward in my life.
Ms. Charles, thank you for joining me tonight. I know you've read the book. We've talked on numerous occasions about the principles that's in this book. Just tell our viewing audience, you made a commitment to you have a job. You have your 2 kids. I mean, you've launched a business endeavor. You are actively involved in your church. How do you keep it all together? You have now taken control of your life and not allowing life to happen to you. You've literally took the bull by the horn and said, listen, I'm going to make the best out of this situation and I'm going to live life effectively. Tell us about your journey to bring things to order for you.
Well, I struggled at first, definitely, even with all those things you just mentioned. But I got tired of going around the same mountain with my struggle. And it really boiled down to some bad habits and some practices that I have carried with myself along the years. And I knew I needed a change. So I was really blessed when you launched the Effective Living platform. And not only that, when you came out with the book. Now, when you came out with this book in the middle of a pandemic, I was like, I'm going to buy this book to support my brother. But, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to work at home, 2 teenagers at home. And, but I quickly found myself in the middle of that pandemic as we realized that, hey, it's going to be like this for a minute, So I'm like, let me get to reading this book. And it really has blessed me and helped change my life as far as my behaviors, my habits. And I realized in order to achieve my goals, I had to start there. I had to work on me. I had to work from the inside out.
Yeah. Let's talk about behavioral change, because you said you have to work from the inside out. That's not an easy task. And one of the things I've discovered is the older we get, the more seasoned we become in our rooted ideas. In other words, our truth becomes our truth. And a lot of times we don't want to release that stuff, because the truth is nobody has been in our shoes and walked our path. And we said they can say whatever they want to say.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be who I'm gonna be. I'm gonna and do what I want to do. But one of the things I've been talking to a lot of my clients about lately is, how's that working for you? The goal is for life to work correctly, and you can live a while, but still life may not be working for you correctly, and that's where the book Effective Living come about. But the discipline and the commitment to change behavior. How did that come about for you? Because you had to decide to break some strongholds, change some behaviors that you were starting to become accustomed to. Rather than going left, you decided to go right. Talk to us about that, and you deciding to stick with it.
Well, first and foremost, I began to pay attention to the people and individuals who were living their lives to the fullness and putting their best foot forward. And I pretty much just sat at the feet of those individuals, taking it all in. I was just receiving information.
Yeah.
I would plug into Effective Living every morning. And I start to realize the only way that I am going to change my path and to change my future was to apply some of those practices.
Yeah.
Now, yes, I had to listen again, again, and again. And it's for someone who is really not there, just really plugging in from the lower surface. They're like, he's saying the same thing over and over. But what I know, you have to teach that and hear that again and again and again to break those habits.
Yep.
Those bad habits have been with you and been with me for years. The self-defeating thoughts.
Yep.
And so it's almost like drilling away at that foundation.
Yep.
So you can get to the fresh soil. So you can have new growth.
Yep.
And so I just stayed plugged in.
Yep.
I could be at the park walking. I could be getting dressed for work. I'm listening. I'm listening to Effective Living. I'm listening to other coaches, giving life lessons that we need in order to drive out the bad habits and replace those with good habits. You have to have some good habits to fill in those gaps, because if not, you're not gonna drive out the bad habits.
Come on. Yep. Somewhere along the line, you'll find yourself going back right into what you sort of discover the truth,
right?
But you now don't live the truth because you did not activate the behaviors that will bring about the kind of results. We got Herb Ford, our good friend there, Devin Pulcher, watching and listening. Linda, listen, guys, people are all around the world are tuned into us. Herb Ford, can you believe it? The book is 1 year old today. I mean, this week we're celebrating 1 year, and we're excited. Herb Ford, you got to take a picture with the book, brother. Take a picture with the book and post it again. Send me a copy of the picture of the book. Miss Linda, could you send me in Grand Bahamas? Send me a copy of the book. Listen, man. Billy, send me a copy of the picture with you and the book. Devin, go ahead, send me a copy of. Listen, guys. This book has helped so many people. Thank you very much, Herb Ford, man. Listen, Danola, what's going on in the Bahamas there again? Danola, listen, I know you got the book. Okay, pull out the book, take a picture, tag me. This whole weekend, we're going to be pushing the book. I'm joined with Miss Jocelyn Charles. We're talking tonight about this book and celebrating 1 year. And just now she was talking about this process. I like what you said, Jocelyn, that there were some things that were being said. You go in the book and you say, I heard that before. But the goal is that repetitiveness is necessary to break bad behavior. So somebody just need to write that down and say, don't run from what you've heard before. If you haven't applied it the first time, you need to hear it again. And you need to hear it again. And you need to hear it again. As a matter of fact, even when you just start to do it, you still quite not may have gotten it yet. You may need to hear it a few more times, even after you start to apply it, so that thing can get rooted down. Mr. Charles, one of the things I realized at 45 years old, man, some of the behaviors and the mindsets that I've been living under, it's not even just locked in with me, but it's generational.
Yep.
It's cultural. It's cultural. That means this thing is rooted. It is engrafted in there. So now you read a book like Effective Living, and you say, oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. Okay, let me tell you something. One of the best reviews I got in 2020 was Herb Ford written. Herb Ford dissected this book out, and let me tell you something, Herb, I need to pull that up and listen, post that this weekend, because you gave such a great review on the book. So many of you gave review. Thank you so much. If you have not given me a review, go ahead and plug in something and say something about the book, because this ain't going nowhere. I didn't write this book for it to be a style, a fashion, or just a book that would come out and last for a few months. Nah, this one right here, this is a manual. It's a tool. And so, Ms. Childs, along your way, you decided that you were going to plug in. What do you believe is the reason why some people have not committed to doing the behaviors that are in line with living effectively? I mean, what's keeping people back? There's a book out for it. There are online videos. We got early morning chats. These tools are available. What do you think is the reason that keeps some people back? What would have been the reason that kept you back, that you had to decide to, I'm not going to keep going around the same mountain? Those were your words.
Yeah. Well, I think for some individuals, and even for myself at the time when I wasn't applying it, I wasn't plugged into my goals. When you don't have anything to strive for, you're not going to change. You're just going to stay stuck and pretty much get comfortable with being stuck.
Yep.
You kind of think this is how life is going to be.
Yep.
But for me, when I really started focusing on my goals, and when I realized that I don't want to be here anymore, I have a vision for my future, for my life, of who I want to grow and develop into being, I knew that I had to start making some serious changes. And so I would just start with one thing at a time. I wouldn't jump way out there and go for something that was really hard for me to do. I would just start with those small tasks, because that's what it really is. Those small little nuggets, those small things that you can apply to your life weekly, monthly. Stay consistent with that. And then before you know it, you're taking on something else that you can change and that you can apply. And over a period of time, you look back over your past, or the recent past, and you say, you know what? I'm in a much better place. I want more of this. I'm really making this happen. I'm moving closer towards my goal. I'm slowly growing into the woman or man I want to be. Yeah. So when you don't have any goals, when you don't have anything that you are wanting to work towards or willing to change so you can accomplish it, you're not going to change yourself. You're going to stay stuck.
Oh my goodness, you're going to stay stuck. And you should never want to stay stuck. You should never want to stay stuck. Let me tell you something. Last year when we released this book, I said, you know what? I wanted to do a book that was not going to be a fad, not something that would be a style, something that was just going to hang around for a little while, but something, as Jocelyn just said, something that someone can keep in their car, they can keep in their bag, they can keep on their desk at work, they can keep it at home and say, you know what? I'm going to go back and I'm going to look over this book and I'm going to dissect it and I'm going to test the material. I'm going to test the material. If you have not gotten your copy of this book yet, go get your copy, guys. I'm telling you, the book really works. It'll work if you work it. Somebody needs to write that down. It'll work if you work it. Now, here's the deal. If you don't put it to work, guess what? Now I read the book. It was okay. Now, here's the deal. Okay, don't transform your life. Okay. Even great. When you say it's great, it doesn't transform your life. You know what transform your life? Discovering that that's the nugget that I need. That's the principle I had not applied. I need to apply it. Now the book has just been a part of your transformation. The goal of the book is to transform a life in alignment with what that life is supposed to be about. So if you're not where you want to be, start looking in the book. Start looking at the book. So, Miss Jocelyn, let's pull out the book. What was your favorite chapter in the book? What was your favorite chapter? You know, I had Miss Gwen Lee on just now, and it was amazing when she mentioned her chapters that was her favorite. And we start off chapter 1 is the big question. Chapter 2 is what is success. Herb Ford, please let me know what was your favorite chapter again. Okay, let me know what was your favorite chapter. Dr. Diana in Florida, tell me what is your favorite chapter. I want to know. I want to know. Listen, I'm excited about this book. And I'm going to tell you all my favorite chapter after Miss Charles tells me hers. Go ahead.
My favorite chapter is chapter 4, Believe in Yourself. Because if you don't believe in yourself, nothing else really matters. You're not going to do anything. You're going to stay stuck. You're not going to do any work. You have to stop giving yourself those talks of I can't. And because if that's what you tell yourself, that's exactly, you're correct. You can't. And you won't. And the only thing you will do is you will stay stuck. And so you have to really write those affirmations out of who you are. In this chapter, I wrote my affirmations and my thoughts. I wrote out what I can do. I can be disciplined. I can do all things through Christ. I can have more self-confidence. I just went on. I can be a great speaker. I can be an influencer. You have to believe in yourself. You have to keep saying those things until you start believing it. And when you start believing it, then you'll start applying different lessons and driving out those bad habits. And you just have to do, it's repetitive. It's not having a strong week. So, I'm really on it this week, and the next week, I'm sliding back into my ways. You have to want something way down deep in your soul to change your life around. And it first starts with yourself. You have to believe in yourself. So I really, really love this chapter. You said believing in yourself is a choice. That is absolutely the truth. You have to make up in your mind to do the work. And it just doesn't come by chance. So it's absolutely a choice. This chapter is really, to me, it's the meat and potato. It's the core of taking that turning things to go the other direction or to change your life.
I love this chapter as well. I started the chapter we started off with. Watch this. Say this out loud. Watch this. I'm not an accident. I am handcrafted by God, and His hand. Watch this. His hand is on my life for my purpose. Watch this. I am a mover and a shaker, a world changer. Oh man, you know how powerful that is.
It is.
You know how necessary that is for a person to capture that in their head and hold on to that as a truth.
Yes, it's very powerful. And because it takes a lot, because we have told ourselves that we believe these things from our past, that we're not worthy, that we're not smart enough, that we're not educated enough. You have to believe that you can do anything that you put your mind to. You have to believe that God has given you all that you need to do the work and get it done. But are you disciplined enough? Are you ready to move forward? And so those things that you question, start saying, I can. I can accomplish these goals. I can be disciplined. I can drive out bad habits. Start saying what you can until you start believing it, until you start to drop some of those bad habits and placing them in good habits. I can drink more water. Put the water on the nightstand. As you say, I do that. You keep it in the car. You just have to keep practicing the things that you believe will change your life, no matter how small it is, because then you move on to the next thing and you'll continually and gradually keep growing.
That is so good. Devin Poulter says the chapter that was hers was The Balanced Life. That was hers. And then Herb Ford, I think it's The Faith Factor. The Faith Factor. He Herb is according to your faith, be it done unto you. Right, Herb Ford?
Marked here. I have what's that? Chapter 11.
Yeah. Chapter 11. So here's the deal. If you're watching us tonight, we're celebrating the 1-year anniversary of this book being out. Okay. Now, there are a lot of people who have not gotten this book yet. And I'm on a mission to get this book in the hands of as many people as possible. During each of my interviews tonight, during each of my conversations, I'm trying to get at least 3 or 4 people to get a copy of the book who have not gotten a copy. And maybe you may need to buy a few copies and gift them out to some people.
Yep.
Okay? Because you heard them complaining and you know they're not living life effectively. But in addition, I'm gifting, if 3 of you guys get the book tonight, you're going to get a copy of my book, Parenting with a Purpose, in addition to Effective Living. Okay?
That's a deal.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's a super deal. It's a super deal. So you got to get to the point where you start to realize, oh, I got to work this thing. Okay? Get a deal. Get a deal. Dr. Diana says hers is the big question, the why. That's chapter 1.
Yeah.
We started off on chapter 1. We started off tapping into, it's all about purpose, y'all. Watch this. There's a place where you belong. And your goal in life should be to discover that place. Now, if you found that place, write it in the comment section. If you haven't found that place, just accept the fact that there is a place where you belong. In addition, as there is a place where you belong, there's a place where you don't belong.
Right.
So when I say I'm like a fish in water, Ms. Charles, when I'm like a fish in water, when you put a fish in water, the beauty emerges and you see the fish do what it does. You're right, the fish is doing what it does. But you take that fish out of water and it starts to look stupid because it starts to grasp because it's outside of its element.
Right.
It's outside of its element. There's a place where you belong. And I heard someone said this. I heard someone said that, if you ask a dog to climb a tree, you make the dog look stupid for trying.
Yeah.
Because dogs were not created to climb trees. See, but there is something a dog can do that makes a dog look brilliant. We all have a place where there's something we can do that brings out the brilliance inside of us. And when that brilliance comes forth, that's effective living. You want to get to the place where you're living from inside out. Oh, living from inside out. So, Ms. Charles, let's dive into your favorite statement of truth or quote that you saw in the book that, listen, it stood out to you and you were like, oh my goodness, I'm going to have to highlight that one, underline that one, quote that one, memorize that one. What was it for you?
Well, I just made mention of that chapter that Pastor Ford said it was his favorite chapter. So it is in that faith chapter 11. And it was, for me, just 3 words. Yep. Faith trumps failing. And I had never really looked at it that way. And it's such a big deal because you have to have some faith to try. And that's the only way you're going to fail, if you try. But you have to have that faith to do it. And to me, that was really important and really a big deal. And it meant a lot to me when I read that. I was like, it does trump failing because it takes action.
Yep.
It takes action. You got to have faith to even take the action. And then, you don't reach a level of success without some failure. So you just get up and you do it again. And in that same chapter, you say your strength is revealed on how you handle your greatest challenges. Yep. And that is something I teach my children. I teach my son in particularly. And I think that with this statement here, it really speaks to who you are.
Yep.
It really speaks to who you are and how far you will go in life. Because if you can't deal with some of the blows in life that brings you, it can really set you back. If you stay stuck behind one of your bad situations, what was that? If you stay stuck behind something that happens to you and you can stay scarred, you won't grow, you won't forgive, and you won't release yourself. And so it is how you respond to some of those hardships in life that really determines the measure of you as an individual. And it really prepares you for the next challenge, for the next level. If you can deal with this challenge and this blow over here, you're not gonna grow in progress.
Yeah. You dissected that, break that down so good. Thank you for sharing that with us. Listen, guys, we got people plugging in. Herb Ford said, listen, dog make dogs, cat makes cat. but God make gods. He make the little God, little G. Come on, dominators. Come on, multipliers,
Yes.
creators. Okay? Each and every one of us, we were made to dominate, to subdue, to be fruitful, to multiply, to replenish the earth. And if you're not where you want to be, you need to discover the principles necessary for winning. When God inspired me to put this book together, listen, guys, I'm telling you, I said I didn't want a book that would be a book that actually could be find itself a year or two outdated. I wanted to make sure that the book was loaded with universal principles that was eternal. In other words, these are not good ideas. These are principles. What are principles? Principles are like lighthouses. They don't move. They don't change. They're not optional. Okay? No matter where you are, you may say it a little bit different, but at the end of the day, the principle is the principle. And when you violate principles, there's a consequences to that. But when you discover principle and you apply them properly, you get rewarded for it. So now our goal is now to live life to the fullest. I love that. I love that. Dr. Diana says hers was, I think she had a comment in here. Oh, she repeated that. Faith trumps failing. Oh my goodness. You know, Gwen Lee said the same thing. That was one of her favorite. It was interesting that you said that. Vanessa, thank you for joining us. If you guys are watching us for the very first time and you're on Facebook, please do me a favor and share. Share this, tag somebody to tap into this. If you have not gotten a copy of this book yet, please go and get your copy. Go to my website right now and get a signed copy mailed to you first thing tomorrow. We're going to ship out copies tomorrow because we want to make sure everyone everywhere get a copy of Effective Living. This book is a game changer. It's going to help you become a better version of who you are, helping you to get on that journey of identifying and establishing there's a right way and a wrong way to live. And here's what I found out about books. You know, one chapter can change your life.
Yep.
I mean, there are times I read one chapter in the book, I say, that was it, right? Yeah, that's what I bought the book for. The book costs $24.95. But if you live a long time, and I'm 45 years old, when I buy a book for $24.95, and you've been living for 45 years, and you discover something you've been doing wrong for 25 years, that's an expensive wrong, okay?
Right. Right.
But when you tap into a truth, you say, oh, I can pay $100 for learning that. And that's what wise people do. That's what people who are on another level, they understand buying a book like this is an investment. Buying a book like this is saying, you know what? I want to discover what possibly I may not know that I need to know. And then you may have it all together, but your kids are now about to tap into life. And if they're going to tap into life, they need to discover the principle that you discovered. And not because a parent has discovered the principle, mean they know how to pass it on.
That's true.
So there are times you have to get the book and say, read the book and then pray. Father God,
a lot of praying.
May that book. I believe that the book that they read, I remember I told my son, listen, hey, you read that book, I'll pick books out because he's a reader. He loves reading. But I would say, hey, you read that book right there, I'll give you $25.
Yeah.
Somebody said, well, why are you going to pay him $25? Let me tell you something, because I understand. If I can get the principle in his head, see, we are what we think.
It's worth the $25.
It's worth the $25. Come on, people. It's worth the $25. So if you are watching us tonight, you need to get a copy of the book. What else stands out to you in the book, Ms. Charles? Let's go through here some of your other underlying statements that you want to highlight and bring out to our viewing audience.
Well, I think a lot of people stay stuck because just how they are dealing with the past. So that was what, study the past in chapter 9.
Yep.
There was some key statements in here that really helped set me free so I can move forward. And one of them, the first one is sometimes we are given an opportunity to hear one another's past so it doesn't become our future. So I'm a true believer of learning from other people.
Yes.
And I captured that early on, like,
Yep.
in my 20s. I didn't have everything figured out, but I would learn from someone else's situation and say, hey, that's not going to be me. I'm
Yep.
not going to make that mistake. And so that's the key way to learn. And because some people stay stuck in their past and don't want to, and some people nurse it and use
Yep.
it as a crutch
Mm.
or an
Yep.
excuse
Yep.
to not change or grow or to validate their negative behavior or their bad behavior or their thoughts and mindsets. And so you really need to set yourself free from that and detach
Yep.
that and learn from it and turn it into a positive, like pretty much like a fuel. Like it could be your power, it could be your strength
Yep.
instead of making it like your kryptonite.
Yep.
So I
Yep.
think this chapter was really good to me. Another one in this one was until you freely allow difficult experiences of the past to become light and be thoroughly addressed, you will be in a fight against yourself.
Yep.
You have to set yourself free and just like I said, become a light. It has to be a light to you to set the path of you propelling forward.
Yep.
Instead of being that darkness in that space that you stay in. So we have to address the issues of our past
Yep.
if we want to grow. Yes, it's going to always be part of us because we don't get rid of our baggage.
Yep.
It's
Right.
always going to be there.
Yep. Yep.
So, but how are you going to deal with life in your future and your relationships moving
Yep.
forward
Yep.
with it? You have to know how to manage that. You have to
Yep.
know how to put that and grow from that and learn from that. So I think the study of your past is very important because too many men and women stay stuck over things in their past because they have not learned how to use that as a platform, to use it as their strength to
Yep.
propel them forward into their future.
I love it. I love it. With you saying that, there are people who are running from their past, just as you stated, not wanting to look back because it was such a challenge, so terrible, just so bad. But as you mentioned in the book, we talk about it. You got to study the past
You do.
because you don't want to repeat that thing. And then you're studying it to ensure that you don't repeat it. But then also, you got to say the buck stops here. That thing that don't need to pass itself down.
That's right. You have to study the past to evaluate your mindset where you are today. And like you said, how is that working for you? Is it helping you set yourself up for your future, the life that you desire, the goals you say you want to accomplish, how you want to be as a mother, how you want to be as a businesswoman, how you want to be as a wife or a spouse? Is it really helping you? You have to process your past, hold yourself accountable for the things you've done and not play the blame game. I mean, it's a big part of maturity and growth when you are strong enough to deal with that, face that, learn from it, fix it, use it as a platform, use it as fuel
Yep.
to propel you forward.
That's what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I'm joined with Jocelyn Charles tonight. We're celebrating 1 year anniversary book release.
Yeah.
Listen, Effective Living is on the move. We're glad that you're a part. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please go ahead and put on your notification bell on YouTube. Listen, follow us, connect with us. Every Monday, we drop a blog that is actually almost like a chapter. It's like a free chapter of a book.
Yeah.
Every Monday, it's on the website. Every Monday, there's an exclusive group, a group coaching community. Monday to Friday, we do a talk every morning that reminds us about the principles necessary for winning in life. So we got this free blog, we got the group coaching, then we have the book. Okay, we got the book, and then we also have one-on-one coaching. Okay, one-on-one coaching pushes you to that next level where you start to realize I need someone to take me where I could not take myself.
Yeah.
So we're here to stay. We're a life management agency. And when you feel as though you have not gotten a grip on your life, at some point you got to say, I've tried my best by myself, and that has not worked for me. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to entrust myself with someone who is skilled enough to help me to get where I could not have gotten myself. It happens in the life of all of the greats. So what I teach is someone is assigned to help you. One of your responsibility in life is to find the person who's assigned to help you. Now, here's the deal. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. But you got to make yourself available and you have to decide enough is enough. I love the fact that Miss Charles mentioned, she said, listen, I'm tired of going around the same mountain. I have
Yes.
decided that if someone's going to win, why not me?
Right.
Come on.
Right.
Because the truth is, someone is going to win. Someone's going to walk out of 2021 doing better than they were in 2020. Someone walked out of 2020 much better than they were in 2019. In the midst of a pandemic, there were people prospering. In the midst of a pandemic, there are people who are still advancing. You got to tell yourself, I was not born to be broke, sick, or frustrated.
Mhm.
I'm not going to stay stuck. That's not my destiny. But if I keep doing the same thing and expecting a different result, I will stay stuck. Miss Charles, please give our viewing audience why you think they should get a copy of the book. Now, dive into that as we get ready to close this talk out.
If you are if you have $25 to go out to eat, to buy that shirt, to buy that pair of jeans that you're going to wear a few times, you need to spend $25 on this book because it is absolutely a tool. You will use it over and over again, no matter where you are in your life, because you can go from one season to the next. That one particular chapter is going to mean different to you. It's going to speak to you differently because just because you're elevating and because you're growing doesn't mean you're not going to run into some challenges, and then before you know it, you're faced with some self-defeating thoughts and talks, because that thing doesn't just go away. You have to keep working at it. It's just like having a drill. You need a drill to put things together. You need that drill to take it apart, to break it down when it's no longer useful. This is that book. You will revisit this book. You will not outgrow this book. This book will grow with you. You need it no matter where you are. 20s, 30s, 40s, if you are a business person, a high performing business person, a business owner, a CEO, a medical professional, it doesn't matter what your lifestyle is. But if you have goals and you have dreams and you're trying to improve your life and like who you see in the mirror and be okay with that, you need to purchase this book. There's so many good lessons in this book, things that you can apply to help change where you are in life, to help you grow to the next level so you could be a blessing in the earth. You want to be a joy to be around, but you want to like yourself as well. And so get this book. You will not regret it. If you get this book today for $24.95, you will also get an additional book, Parenting with a Purpose. That's a great deal, you guys. So do yourself a favor. You know, that's what $24.95. What that's about 2 trips to Starbucks.
Yeah.
It's
I
two.
know. I know, right? Yep. Listen,
Get the
thank
book.
you. Thank you so much. Lynette says, listen, man, she got off from work. She was reading the book. She did some reading on the beach. You know, Lynette, y'all in the Bahamas just know how to show off how blessed y'all are to be able
Yeah.
to just go and sit at the beach and read a book. Listen, girl, you're awesome. Thank you for representing effective living so well. She's reading the book. Listen, Dr. Diana is reading the book. Herb Ford is reading the book. These guys have read the book. Vanessa, have you gotten a copy of your book? I need to make sure you get your book. Listen, guys, we're on a mission. We're on
Yeah.
a mission to live life effectively. Our goal is to live life effectively. You got to tell yourself that. I don't want to live life with a series of mistakes after mistakes after mistakes, from problem after problem after problem. No, 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 no. There's a right way to live and there's a wrong way to live. We're going to do this thing. We're going to do it right. Okay? I'm on a mission. I want you to write that in the comment section. I'm on a mission to live life effectively. That's really what it's all about. This entire platform is about that. I'm on a mission to live life effectively. So tonight, get your copy. Ms. Charles joined us and challenged us to get our copy. If you haven't gotten it, gift someone a copy as well. Okay? All right? Make a gift
Yes.
available to someone in your family. You have a nephew, you have a son, you have a co-worker, you have a family member. Get a copy of the book. And for the first 3 people that go to the website tonight and order a copy of the book, you get Parenting with a Purpose as well, in addition. 2 great books, $24.95, people. We're doing it We're gonna have a good time tonight. Oh, let's celebrate.
Start the
Oh,
party. I'll party with you. Hey.
hey guys, 1 year. God is good. We produced this book a year ago. People are buying the book, they're reading the book, and their lives are being transformed. And that was the goal of the book. We're on a mission. We're on a mission to living life effectively. Ms. Charles, any closing thought as we move on and just literally continue to celebrate this 1 year anniversary? Any closing thoughts?
Yes, I just want to encourage everyone that's listening tonight and that may watch later. Don't be afraid to go after your goals and dreams and believing in the man or woman that the vision that God has placed in your heart. Is one thing to acknowledge it, but it takes a lot of work to go towards it, but it's very worth it and very rewarding. I'm telling you, I gotten to the point where I was just sick of myself and I couldn't blame anybody else. I had to do the work. So I plugged in where I knew I would get some good lessons, the Effective Living community. I lean on my Effective Living book. I have packed up a lot of my books, but this book's and just a few stays on my nightstand. I need this, and I always go back and reference it. And you will as well. You will not regret purchasing this book. Go for your goals and your dreams. Believe in yourself. Do the work. Start with small baby steps and do it again and again and again. And before you know it, you'll be on your way to the top.
Come on. That's what it's all about. We're
Yeah.
on our way to the top, living life effectively. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. Thank you, Ms. Charles, for joining us tonight. Listen, guys, let's do this together. Let's make a commitment to end this year strong and to get all that we can out of the time that we've been given. Don't waste your time. Time wasted is time you will never have again. So you got to tell yourself the days that you've been given, you want to discover the principles you need to discover to winning. And when you discover them, then you need to fight every day to apply. And as you apply and you remain consistent, small baby steps if necessary, but continue to make those steps. And over time, you're going to discover that your life is going to be transformed by the words that you have discovered in a book, the words that you discovered in a program, the words that you discovered by a speaker. If applied, let me tell you something, you'll be amazed as who you're going to become over time, because all of us ought to be becoming a better version of ourselves. Nobody has arrived. As long as there's life in your body,
Right.
You got to tell yourself, I'm still working on me. There's a better version of me that's going to be expressed next week. There's a better version of me that's going to be expressed next month. There's a better version of me that's going to be expressed next year. Keep on looking. We're going up. We ain't never coming down. God bless you guys. Thank you again, Ms. Childs. Have a good night.
Thank you. Good night.